Welcome to the first video of this new channel. Before we dive into the actual content, please hear me out. I'll keep it short. Here's my situation regarding my attempt to revive my YouTube channel, or rather, to get myself and my content active on YouTube. My goal is to start gaining a decent amount of impressions, with the ultimate aim of becoming monetized at some point. But there's a huge issue. It seems that a couple of other channels I uploaded to about a year ago are almost totally shadow banned. After a year of inactivity, during which I focused on improving my editing skills, I prepared to start uploading daily MMA news, as I'm really passionate about the topic. But after posting my first couple of videos, they barely reached any audience. So I decided to create a third channel, hoping this time YouTube would give it a decent amount of impressions so my content could start getting some views. It is redundant to say that this is really important to motivate me and give me hope that all of this isn't for nothing. But anyway, to prove that I'm not lying about this, an image of the homepage of my original channel, which shares the same banner, logo, and style as this one, is shown on your screen. I would put it in the description of this video, but unfortunately I can't, as that feature is still locked for me. So, if you follow the MMA world, I assure you that on this channel, you'll find plenty of interesting daily content. Thank you. And of course, I hope that YouTube doesn't ban me for no legitimate reason. I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I would also like to apologize because the content you're about to watch is not as versatile as it should be, but that will change once YouTube removes all possible shadow bans. Believe me, it's incredibly frustrating knowing that all the hard work is pointless when no one will see the content. And my plea to the YouTube team is, please take me off your blacklist. Colby Covington went 0-4-2 this week, TKO'd in a UFC fight against Joaquin Buckley and busted early in a poker tournament, the World Series of Poker Paradise Super Main Event. Sometimes, life just deals you a bad hand.
It's a lot tamer. Wow.
Covington's like, alright.
It's around 150, yeah, 155, and he's going to get called by Frankie. Good luck, chaps. She will do 60% of the time.
Ooh. Oh, he's fighting back on this flop.
3 hearts for a sweat. Jack of hearts for a sweat is a fair card.
Oh, now I'm dead.
Colby looking for an ace, queen, or a 9. Doesn't find it.
Good luck.
GG's, mate.
Chael Sonnen, while recounting the incident where Gilbert Burns publicly shared his phone number on Twitter, explains that his comment about Burns being retired on a recent episode of Good Guy Bad Guy was actually meant as support. According to Sonnen, the remark wasn't a dig, but more of a defense, though it seems Burns took it the wrong way.
So, when it comes back to me, I tell Daniel, I said, hey, I love the idea of Gilbert. I know he's still in the rankings, but he's left the pool. Gilbert Burns retired. He officially retired after his last fight. And guys, to this moment in time, I still think I'm right. Now, I'm clearly not right. Somewhere that got misprogrammed in my head, but I can still pause and think back. I remember Gilbert saying this. So Gilbert goes on Twitter and he plays the clip and he says, that is so disrespectful. Hey Chael, I'd like to talk to you about this. Is your phone number still? And he posts the phone number. So I'm beat. I'm taking it pretty hard on this because you can't run that back. However, I can't openly be mad for 2 reasons. One, I really like Gilbert Burns, and Gilbert Burns over the years has done me some favors. So I owe Gilbert to a degree. So it's very hard to be upset with him. The second part of this, I created this. I did this to Chad Mendes, and it was such a jerk move. Chad was busy. He's getting ready to fight for a world championship. So the media is all over him. He's got Conor McGregor staring him down. He's got an interim world championship fight, which is going to lead to an undisputed world championship fight. He's got the biggest payday of his career. All of these things are coming. I tweet out his number. And I tweeted it out of spite. Like, Gilbert did this to hurt me in some fashion, to slow me down or cause an inconvenience. And that's the exact reason I did it to Chad. So I can't be upset. And I would have the right, per the rules of the streets, I would have the right to be as mad at Gilbert as Chad was at me. And I would have the right to do unto Gilbert as Chad did unto me. Chad let it go. Not a word. He let it slide completely. So my problem is this, okay? I can get another phone. that takes moments to do. As a matter of fact, a guy from Verizon contacted me and said, I saw what Gilbert did. When it's time for a new phone, just call me directly. I can actually teach you how to do it. You don't even have to come into the store. But many security agents have a two-factor authentication. I've never been able to say that word. Authenticate. Two-factor authentication, which are tied to this number, including in my case, crypto wallets. So I can't just do away with this phone. So I spoke to Gilbert, and Gilbert asked me, he said, by the way, why'd you say that? And I just answered him. I said, I thought I was backing you up. I thought you said it. I was repeating what you said before.
Michael Johnson shared some reflections with Kevin Iole on his YouTube channel about two big moments in his career. He talked about how his fights with Khabib Nurmagomedov and Justin Gaethje where one humbled him and the other left him eager for another shot.
One of the fights that you had that to me was like a very fascinating fight to ask you about was when you fought Khabib. I think that was kind of when Khabib went next level. Like, I think you probably knew going into that fight how good he was, but like the public, probably did not know at that point. What was it like as you're down there and you're trying to defend yourself and you hear him talking to you and he talked to the announcers and whatnot's going on? What does that do to a fight?
Well, some fighters would probably give up from the situation or try to get their hardest to give up. But I was like, geez, I need to get up. I'm like, he's talking to me and he's got me down and he's beat me up. This looks bad. I'm like, it's damn near embarrassing. But Khabib's the greatest to do it. So it's definitely not heartbreaking, but it's definitely humbling, and I don't want to be in those positions again. And he definitely, I think he scarred me a little bit, because I became a little tentative in fights, and I would kind of freeze up on the ground because of situations he got me in. So he's definitely made me a better fighter from it.
You went out the next fight. I mean, so you talk about going from the frying pan into the fire, and you go from Khabib to Justin Gaethje, and some people had that as fight of the year. I mean, that was a fantastic fight. What do you remember about that fight? And is Gaethje now, 7-8 years later, a guy that you look and say, hey, maybe for my next outing, he might be a guy I want to try it again with?
Yeah, I love a rematch with Justin. I think he'd like it as well. It's a great fight. He's a great fighter. He's always willing to go in there and fight. That fight was a fun one. That's what I remember. He got away with a little headbutt in the first round. Not gonna lie, that wasn't really talked about. And I was pretty. The fight was just almost like a blur. Like I wanted to go in and play the space game with him, but Justin makes it so hard for people to get away with him. So I just said, hell, you know what? We want to kind of stay close to each other and fight, then let's do it.
I thought as I'm watching that fight, you're hitting him with some shots. I'm going, what the hell's keeping him up, right? I mean, because I know you had that speed and power, and you were hitting him pretty clean.
Yeah, his heart and determination is bar none. He's one of the best to do it, and it's really hard to get him out there. Get him out. Like, you have to bring in a gun almost to get him down. Like, he just will not go down, and it's good for him and it's bad for him. It makes the sport great for him, but I'm looking forward to seeing his fight again.
Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay in the know with the latest MMA news. Thanks for watching.